You know that feeling when a perfectly planned event just starts to fall apart? Well, a lot of the time, it all starts with something that seems so small, almost trivial, just a single number. But get that one number wrong, and the whole thing can go completely off the rails. Okay, so let's set the scene. Imagine it's the day of a huge event. The caterer shows up totally on their game, prepped and ready to serve exactly 180 guests. Everything's running like clockwork, the food looks amazing. Sounds like a pretty solid start, right?
But then you walk into the main event space, and you see the venue team has been hard at work setting up all the tables and chairs, but for 200 people. And right away, you get that little pit in your stomach. Wait a second, there are 20 extra chairs here. Something's not adding up.
And that's when the real bombshell drops. The client walks in, they're all smiles, and they say something like, "Oh, I'm so excited for all 220 of our guests to get here." Boom. Just like that, you've got a massive 40-person gap between what your caterer is ready for and what your client actually expects. So, what on earth just happened? You've got one event, but 3 different teams are running around with 3 totally different numbers. And believe me, this isn't just some made-up story. This is one of the most common, and frankly most expensive, breakdowns that can happen in event planning. So let's dig into how this mess gets made. Look, it's really easy to start pointing fingers here, right? Blame the caterer, blame the venue, but this isn't really about people being bad at their jobs. It's about a broken process. The confusion is just a symptom of a much, much deeper problem with how information is being handled. You know, in a perfect world, the guest count journey is beautiful and simple. It follows this nice, clean path. You start with an initial guess, then you revise it, you get your RSVPs, and then you lock in a final number. Everyone's on the same page every step of the way. It's logical, it's clear, it's perfect. But let's be real, reality is never that neat and tidy, is it? The actual guest count, the one that matters, is usually buried and scattered across a million different places. It's lurking in the original quote, it's lost in a 50-reply email thread, it's in a quick WhatsApp message, a random spreadsheet, an old printed-out schedule. Each one of those is a landmine just waiting to go off. And we're not talking about a tiny typo here. When that one wrong number gets loose, it creates this huge ripple effect that messes with the entire event. It's like a snowball rolling downhill. What starts as a tiny little miscommunication just gets bigger and bigger and more dangerous. Just look at this list. Think about how many things are directly tied to that one little number. Yeah, catering, that's the obvious one. But what about staffing? The whole seating chart, how much decor you order, the booze for the bar, even security and parking. You get that number wrong, and every single one of these things is thrown into chaos.
And here's where it really hurts. The wallet. All those logistical headaches, they translate directly into cold, hard cash. You're suddenly paying for last-minute emergency food orders, overtime for staff you didn't plan for, and decor that's just going to sit in a box. It's not just a wasted budget. It leads to really awkward disputes with your client, and in the end, it can seriously damage your reputation.
So this is the absolute key takeaway. It is so tempting to blame a person when this stuff happens. But what the research tells us is this. This is not a people problem. It's a process design problem. The system itself is practically designed to fail.
Okay, so if the system is the problem, how in the world do we fix it? Well, the solution is actually pretty simple, but it is incredibly powerful. It's a concept called a single source of truth. And honestly, this is the thing that separates the planners who are always putting out fires from the ones who are truly in control.
A single source of truth is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It is one and only one central spot where the correct, most current guest count lives. Everybody has access to it. So when a change happens, it happens in that one place, and boom, everyone sees it instantly. No more digging through old emails, no more guessing.
So how do you actually build this thing? Well, it rests on 5 main pillars. First, you have one master guest count, period. That gets rid of all the confusion. Second, everyone gets automatic visibility. Your caterer, your venue, everyone sees updates the second they happen. Third, you track every single change, so you have a paper trail. Fourth, you set up a little system where your suppliers have to confirm they've seen the update. And finally, number 5, you set a hard deadline. The number gets locked in, and that stops last-minute changes from creating a panic. And when you put a system like this in place, wow, it's a total night and day difference. You go from constantly fighting fires to just flawless execution. It's really the difference between a kind of amateur way of doing things and a truly professional operation.
I mean, look at this comparison. It just lays it all out. The old way is scrambling on the day of the event. The new way, smooth, precise execution. You go from arguing about bills to sending crystal clear invoices. And, maybe most importantly, you take your client from a state of stress and doubt to total confidence and trust. You're no longer a chaos manager, you're a precision expert. And at the end of the day, this isn't just about getting a new piece of software or making a better spreadsheet. It's way bigger than that. It's a complete shift in your mindset. It's about deciding to stop being reactive and instead become proactive. It's about designing your entire process to kill problems before they can even be born. And this quote, this just nails it. It sums up this entire idea perfectly. Professional event planning is not about handling chaos well. It is about designing systems that prevent chaos. Think about that. The real pro isn't the hero who swoops in to fix a disaster. The real pro is the architect who builds a system so solid that the disaster never even has a chance to happen.
So, that really brings us to the final question. And it's for you. This whole guest count problem, it exists everywhere, in every single industry. It's that one little critical number or piece of data that, if it gets messed up, causes these huge chaotic ripple effects. So, take a second and think. What's the guest count problem in your world? And how could a single source of truth finally stop the chaos?